Chris Elmore.
Yeah!
Chris Elmore gets the first spot. He's 13th. All right, Chris, come on up. There's one.
Double one.
I got one.
Good morning, folks. Got some owls outside and they are chatting back and forth. I love when they do that. One will screech, one will hoot, they just go back and forth. It is very nice. It's not always nice when you're trying to sleep, but it's really cool because I can go out and I'll actually see them up on top of the light post. And I used to live about 400 feet away at my other house, just on the other side of this area behind my backyard. Hardly ever saw the owls. Over here, I see them all the time. So it's always a treat. But it is 3 days out from the race. I have done no training since Ironman 70.3 because I pretty much just did nothing but drive. Sunday night after the race, stuck around for awards and roll down. We will get to the race when I get back from my swim, which is what I'm doing this morning. I'm gonna do a 1 hour swim and a 30-minute bike, but basically Monday I drove 10 and a half hours. Then Tuesday, got up early, drove another 5 hours, was able to get home and surprise my daughter right before she left for her camp. It's my oldest daughter and she's never gone away to camp. So 4 days, 3 nights, she's a little anxious, which hey, I understand. I was a little anxious before this race, but it was fun. Got to surprise her before she went off. And then worked yesterday and just kind of cleaning up the gear. Went to bed pretty early. And now we are getting back to it. Back in the swing of things. Ironman 70.3 Santa Cruz is 8 weeks away. But while I was gone, I also got a box. We'll check that out later. I believe it's from SBR Sports. They reached out to me while I was away and asked if they could send me some product to try. So we'll check out what they sent. But now I'm headed to the pool. All right, well that is it. That was 30 minutes. Not much swim footage today. Just got in, got about 2,600 yards, I believe. Nice and easy, nothing too hard. A little bit of fin work, some paddles, just really recovery. 1 hour, and then now just finished this 30-minute bike. Again, no planned workout, just a Zwift ride, 30 minutes. High cadence, not pushing much wattage. But now I'm gonna hop off, get cleaned up, and we'll talk about the race. I almost forgot about this box. So SBR Sports is a Southern California company that makes swimming and triathlon products, specifically hair products for chlorine, conditioners, things like that, as well as a product called Tri-Slide, which is an anti-chafing, reduces friction for getting your wetsuit on and off. And Karen, the founder, I knew probably 12 or 15 years ago in my former Ironman life. Well, last week during my race series, I got hit up on social media and asked, hey, would you like to try the product out? And I know the product, I like the product. So I said, hey, send me some and I'll introduce you guys to it. So awesome. There is a bunch of stuff in here and it smells so good. First, there is a shampoo, and it gently removes chlorine, salt water, hard water, minerals, odor, and green tint. Second one is a conditioner. Proteins and keratin, strengthen, smooth, and add shine. Third is a body wash, and it gently removes chlorine, salt water, hard water, minerals, and odor. And the fourth one is something I always desperately need after swimming. It is a lotion, and I'm always have my face is dry, my body is dry. I have really sensitive skin, so I use a lot of lotion, and this lotion restores, hydrates, and nourishes dry skin. And the fourth one is something I completely forgot they made. It's called Foggle, and it's actually wipes that you use in your goggles to reduce bogging. I love this product. I forgot they made this product. And the final product is a spray anti-chafe, anti-friction, anti-blister product called Skin Stick. I really appreciate the care package. Can't wait to start using it. All right, well, let's talk about the race. It was an incredible weekend. I had a lot of fun making the race week videos. I hope you guys enjoyed them. But as far as the race goes, night before, got decent sleep, not really any better or worse than normal. You know, you got the jitters, pre-race jitters, so sleep was okay. Woke up about 3:30 in the morning and tried to get up and start eating. I always have a hard time getting food in. Had my English muffin, peanut butter, banana with some honey, and it was hard to get down. I'll tell you, I struggled and struggled over the hour before heading down to transition to get that down. Then headed down to transition, got in. I was concerned about getting in line for the swim. Last year, I stood in line for over an hour after the race start to get into the water. So this year, I wanted to get in transition, get all my stuff set up, and then get into the line for the swim. So I was nervous going into this race because I put a lot of expectations on myself. I felt like I kind of built it up in the videos and, you know, I wanted to prove to myself that I could run. And what I mean by that is I do all of this training targeting 7 to 7:15 pace, and I get to the race, get off the bike, and I can't do it. I'm running 8:30s or worse. And I struggle with that. So I really wanted to prove to myself that I could get off the bike and run. So that was the goal of this race. The swim was fast. It had a lot of current in that river. Hopped in. It was kind of rushed. You went down this really steep dock, and right when you got to the end, it was just hop in and go. There was no waiting, nothing. It was just athlete after athlete after athlete. About 8 minutes after the first athlete started, I was hopping in the water. So on the race clock, I was about 8 minutes behind. Jumped in the water, you went straight in, kind of feet first. I had no idea how deep it was, but it was fairly deep because I went underneath, came up and just started swimming, shooting for the first buoy. Now, last year, you had a really hard time getting to that first buoy and keeping it on your right. This year, they wanted to keep the buoys on the left because the left side of the river was so much faster. So they wanted you to stay on the right to slow us down a little bit. And I shot for that buoy and immediately I was pulled to the left, and so was everyone else. So I worked really hard to pull back by the second buoy to get the buoys on my left shoulder. A lot of people were just being pulled down the river fast on the left side. I feel like I expended a lot of energy keeping myself on the right side of the buoy. That probably didn't play into my favor as far as my swim time, but a 19-minute and 50-second swim time is incredible. I did not have to work very hard. I was swimming hard, but you know, overall, it was a much shorter swim, and you could just see the rocks underneath you on the bottom moving. So it was fast. Sun was coming up, hard to see the buoys in front of you. But once you made that right turn to get up the dock, smooth sailing, got into transition and had, it's kind of a slow transition. I had a hard time getting my socks on, and then the buckles on my shoes gave me a hard time. Never had that problem before. I think my hands were just shaking. I was rushing. Got out on the bike, nice and smooth, hopped on, mounted, and just tried to get into a groove. My goal was no more than 220 watts, so keeping it right around that 200, 210, and the way out on the bike was fast. It felt like it was really easy to maintain about 22, 23 miles per hour and stay in that 200 watt range. But then at the turnaround, it felt definitely harder. All the way back, I felt like the effort required to maintain the same speed and my wattage was easily going to be higher to maintain that. So I backed it off, kind of shifted down, tried to spin a little more, felt a little bit of wind, not that much. I think in my mind, maybe I felt like I had overbiked the first half. So I tried to back off, and I was about a mile per hour slower on the back half of the race. So overall, I averaged just under 22 miles per hour. Successful. I really want to break 22 in a half Ironman. I have yet to do that, but maybe a Santa Cruz. But the bike went really well. I did not overbike it. I got all of my nutrition in. That was one of my goals. I got that new hydration bottle on the front of the bike, and I finished that. I actually didn't have enough hydration. I finished all 30 ounces of that, which was at least 600, 700 calories. And then I had one bottle of water, which I wish I had filled with additional Vitargo, because I started drinking it, which was fine, but I was still probably 30, 40 minutes out from the end of the ride, and I would like to have continued to be putting electrolytes and calories in before getting off the bike.
All right, so we are waiting for the guys to come in on the bike. Chris, Daniel, Jamie, all tucked in together. We'll see who comes in off first.
Came in off the bike and felt really good. Felt like I had taken it easy enough on the back half that I felt like I was gonna be able to run. Hopped off, got the shoes on, grabbed my stuff, got out of transition. And as I was leaving transition, I see BJ, my coach.
Chris, you're in top 20. You're in top 20. 10 seconds behind Daniel. Get on his feet. You guys work together.
That set me on fire. I felt like, okay, now is the time to see if I can run, and I'm going to hunt down as many of these guys that are in front of me. And right when you start, you run out and you have to go over a bridge. The bridge, it's, you know, it's just has a little bit of an incline. You kind of got to get over it. And so I kind of kept it calm, easy to get to the bridge and kind of get over small steps. And when I got over, I just decided, you know what? Let's see if I can run 7s. So that first loop, I felt amazing. I was running 7s, high 6s, 655s to 710s, just running it, no problems. I was smiling. I was so happy that everything was going great. I had 4 gels with me, Huma gels. I was taking those about every 20 to 25 minutes. Whenever I would come up on an aid station, I would take the gel, grab a water, drink a little bit, throw the rest in my face, get a little bit of Gatorade, grab some ice, put it in my hat or put it down my kit, and I was just trucking along, no problem. And made it all the way around until the back of the second loop, and really then started to feel that my foot started to hurt a little bit on the outside where I have some tendonitis. But up until that point, I was feeling great, and I was just reeling people in. Really had no idea how many people I had passed in my age group, but I just kept charging along. The foot started hurting, and I really just started focusing on being calm, right? The mind starts to tell you, ow, it's hurting, you gotta quit, you need to slow down. But I just kept looking at my watch, kept forcing myself to push. Every race, I feel like I finished and I had given in to the suffering of the run. And you look back, it's like, it wasn't that bad. It didn't last that long. I should have been able to push through. And this race, that was my goal, was to kind of conquer the suffering, be able to push through it and keep myself calm. Around mile 11, I started to feel like the wheels were starting to fall off a little bit. Mile 11 felt, from 11 to 12 felt really long. I was having a really hard time maintaining 730s, but I was pushing 730s in that segment. And then you pass the turnaround point and you are on your way back to the bridge and over. And I was suffering really bad during that portion. It took everything I had not to quit, not to slow down and walk, to take a second, to pull back.
Push it, a little bit more, a little bit more. Come on, Chris.
4-8 group unofficially. Hunter Miller, 20 years old, one of our youngest competitors. From the Yogi Triathlon team, Chris Elmore.
I crossed the finish line 4 hours and 48 minutes, but I had no idea what that meant, what time I started. And BJ immediately comes up.
And from Seattle, Washington.
How'd it go? What do you want to say? It was great. It was hard. I would say the second half of the bike was definitely harder than the first half. I was a little worried I overbiked, and then it felt great for like through mile 10. It felt really good. I was worried I was running too fast. It's like, all right, stay over 7, don't run under 7. And yeah, probably the last 3 miles is where I really started to tank. 730s. I think I probably ran an 8 maybe, I don't know. it was awesome.
Hold it together.
I don't even know what time I finished it.
Pretty fast.
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
think,
know?
yeah.
4:40.
4:40?
Fantastic finishes all.
And tells me that I finished in 4 hours and 40 minutes, which blows me away. I wanted to break 5 hours for sure, but I felt like I had a 4:45 in me because the swim was faster. So to go 4:40 was just incredible. So happy. Felt like I left everything I had on the course and just really was content and satisfied with what I did in the race. Post-race, it was great. Fueled up, hung out, watched all of my friends finish, and then showered and came back for awards. Now, I finished in 10th place. So when I came off the bike, I was in 20th and I was able to bring back 10 people and finish the race right around 9th or 10th, I believe. And that was great. But the reality is how many more people behind me that started behind me were going to finish faster. And overall, that happened and I dropped to 13th place. So going into the awards and the roll down, I wasn't really sure if it was gonna happen. You know, you just don't know how many people have qualified. This race was different because it was supposed to be the beginning of the Finland qualification. Last minute, they made it an additional Utah 2022 race. So there were 75 spots for that race and then 30 or 35 slots for Finland 2023. So there were gonna be about 2 per age group. So they start the slot allocation process. They start calling names.
All right, we got 5 spots.
Oh.
Plus 1.
+1, 6.
6 spots, 6 spots.
In the top 5, 3 people took the spots. So immediately I thought, you know what, bummer. Within the next 5 to 10, there's going to be at least 3 more people and I'm not gonna get a roll down spot. Probably not.
Top 5, male, 45-49. Anybody top 5 want to go? All right, we got 1, 2.
See?
Are you taking one also? Okay, Endureus, you're 4th. All right. There's 3 out of 6. All right, in the top 5. Top 10. Top 10. Anybody in top 10? Male 45-49, top 10?
Sweet, you got it.
Raise your hand. No? How about top 15? Top 15, come on up.
But no one in the 5 to 10 had taken it. Now there's reasons why. It could be that most of the guys above me in the 1 to 12 spot had already qualified. So they didn't need the slot at that point, or they didn't want to go for some reason. Ultimately, he said anyone from 10 to 15, 3 of us came up. It was spot 13, 14, and 15. So I got slot 4 of the 6, which is amazing. I will be going to the Utah Ironman World Championships, which is October 28th and 29th, I believe. I'm really excited with the fact that I got a spot. It is a roll down spot, but ultimately I do want to break that top 5. And in the next video, I'll talk about what my goals are, but let's continue to move on. So I got a 2022 spot to World Championships. Then they said they were gonna hand out 2023 World Championship slots in Finland, which is August 2023. I thought there is no way I will get a slot. There were 2 spots in my age group. They started same way, 5, 10, and they were reading names off. No one was taking spots. I don't know why. Either they didn't want it, they didn't want to commit. Maybe they left after the first slots.
Chris Elmore. Woo! Chris Elmore gets the first spot and he's 13th. All right, Chris.
I was the first one in my age group to accept one of the 2 spots to Finland. I have all of these races lined up over the next year with the goal of making the Finland World Championships, and I got it already. So I am extremely grateful, extremely excited to have gotten those spots, and I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. Now I have a full year to race and improve. You know, I've qualified, so there is no qualification spots, but I've got some goals in mind. So I definitely want to improve my bike. I really want to get that 23 mile per hour bike split on a race. I want to continue to be able to run. I think I can break a 7-minute pace in the run. And ultimately, I want to be one of the top 5. I want to stand on that podium at a race in my age group and earn that spot to a Worlds. Even though I'll let it go because I have mine, I wanna earn one in the top 5 spots. So I've got to do some more thinking, but that's kind of the general thinking that I have right now on my goals. So that is it for this video. Now it's time to get ready for Santa Cruz. I'll see you in the next video.
Daddy, so I built this fairy house out of mud, and then when I came back to it, I found this on the bucket that I used, and then I found this guy by the house.
So you built a fairy house out of mud.
Uh-huh.
You went swimming.
Uh-huh.
You came home.
Uh-huh.
And all of this stuff a fairy left you?
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's incredible. So incredible.
And I got 2 pencils.
Very cool. You want to tell the fairy thank you?
Yes, I'm gonna write a note.
Yeah.